This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2025 Flagstaff Micro Lite travel trailer. And the model number is 25 SRK. Okay, so this is not a sales video, it's a how-to video. I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work, okay? So this has powered stabilizers on it. So you have one switch controls both rear, and then one switch controls both front. As you can see, there's the rear. Okay. This is a port for a quick connect water hose. It's just a blue coiled hose with a sprayer on it. Okay. Now you have a powered awning with LED strip. Two fold-out stairs with adjustable legs. The legs adjust right here, if you can see that. Okay. Outside speakers. That is your furnace vent there. This is the rail that your griddle or grill hangs on. In this case, it's a griddle, I believe. I'll show you that in a second. You have a TV signal out here, plus power, plus a bracket here. You also get the other half of the bracket. That'll connect to a TV setup in case you want to have a TV to hang up outside. Okay. When the griddle is hanging here, you have to plug it into the LP system, which is the plug-in is right there. Okay. I'll show you that right now, I guess. Let's go move around here. This is your griddle here. These hook right onto that rail right there, and then it leans up against the side of the trailer. That coiled sprayers, the sprayer I was telling you about, and that rubber hose, that is the quick connect to hook this griddle up to the LP system of the trailer. Okay. All right. Anything you have questions about, you can ask us when you pick up after you've watched this. So. Okay, there's also a table that hangs next to the griddle also, which is right here. Okay. All right, so you get a hitch with this. You ordered a hitch, so it's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. So I'm going to show you how that operates when you pick up. Of course, there's your front stabilizer. Okay. This is just in case you wanted to get a solar battery charger. It's a kit. This one's made by Go Power, which is owned by Dometic now. So it just looks like a little suitcase, and it would just be a battery charger. You already have solar panels on this, so keep that in mind. But that's just a pre-wire. Okay. You get two deep cycle marine batteries. Now these batteries are wired together, so you're still outputting 12-volt DC, right? You're just doubling the storage capacity. The reason you want to do that is because you have an inverter, a power inverter on this trailer. Inversion is starting off with 12-volt DC and inverting to 110 AC. So the idea is the receptacles and the duplexes in this trailer are wired to the inverter. So if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you don't have any AC power, but you do have charged batteries, and you want to run a small AC appliance like a blender or a coffee pot or something, you could just push the inverter button on, start inverting power, and plug it in, and it'll work. Okay. This also converts power, which is just the exact opposite. That's going from 120 AC to 12-volt DC. We'll talk about that when we get inside. But this has a second battery for inversion. Doubles the storage capacity. Of course, this plug can come out. This is your power tongue jack, of course. This plug can come out if this ever fails for any reason. You can use this small crank right here and get yourself out of trouble. You can actually pull that plug, put the crank on there, and crank it manually. So no matter what, you can get yourself hitched and unhitched. Okay. Now there's a kill switch for these batteries right here. If you can see it, it's right here. I know it's hard to see, but it's there. So right now it's on. The arrow's pointing towards the green, of course. If you want to disconnect the batteries for whatever reason, you just turn it to red, and it'll disconnect the batteries from the system. Okay? Alrighty. In two 30-pound LP tanks with an automatic changeover regulator, and the tanks are full right now. That is your dump hose right there, of course. That's a reducer to reduce your 30 amp down to a 20. There is your table that hangs next to the griddle, and there's the griddle itself. Okay? So right now we're hooked up to city water because we're prepping it right now. So this is the city water hookup. You just hook the hose on there and you're all set. All the plumbing works. If you're camping someplace without city water, if you have to, you know, you're boondocking somewhere and there's no city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here. You can turn on the water pump inside, and it'll pump the water out of the tank, and you can just, everything will work as though you have city water, but you'll be pumping it from the holding tank. So, two options. If you have city water, you don't have to worry about the pump or the tank. If you don't have city water while you're camping, you just pre-fill it and use the pump. Okay. This is just for winterizing. You'll have to read about that if you're going to winterize it yourself. This is a campground cable and satellite through. This is your black tank flush. So you can flush out your black tank, but like it says on this sticker here, never turn on if you screw the hose at the dump station on here, never turn it on till you've dumped your black tank and you leave the black tank valve open. So right here, if we can see it, let me see, right there's your black tank. So you'd leave that in the open position, hook the hose on there, turn it on, and it'll spray out the black tank, clean it off, clean off the sensors really well so you get a good reading, that sort of thing. So it's if you have a working hose at the dump station, always flush it. That's the best way to go about it. You have slide toppers, of course. Alrighty, this is your 30 amp, 30-foot power cord, and there's another dump valve back here for the galley, which is basically the kitchen sink. So you have two gray tanks in this one. You have the gray tank in the bathroom for shower water and sink water, and then you have another gray tank back here for the kitchen sink, and of course a black tank for the toilet. All right, so you have a ladder which makes it easy to inspect the roof. The manufacturer states that every 60 to 90 days you should inspect the roof. You're going to look for damage caused by you know, road debris flying up there, or low branches, or any separation or cracking at any of the sealant where water could potentially get through. You just give it a good inspection. It's something you should do as part of your regular maintenance. People, generally speaking, don't inspect the roof enough, so make sure you do that. You're just trying to stay ahead of any possible issues. You can't see what's happening up there unless somebody looks, so it's very important, obviously. Odds are you'll go years without having to do anything to the roof, but you just don't know. That's why you inspect. Okay, so this is the water heater. This works on both gas and electric. You have a electric heating element behind this cover here, and then this is the gas burner here. This is the drain right here. It's also an anode rod, so it's long. So the thing is, don't run this without water in it. If you drain the tank between camping trips, that's fine. Just make sure you refill the tank before you turn on the heating element or the gas burner. You don't want to damage it. So always never run it without water in it. Okay? Alrighty. I'll show you the switches when we get inside for this. I'll show you the water pump switches, everything you need to see, and we'll go from there. Okay. All right, let me walk around to the other side. Oh, also, this is pre-wired for a backup camera. It's a Furrion backup camera kit, so if you're interested, you can add one of those on. We do sell them here if you're interested.
How was that?
That's Chris. Excuse me, fellas. Okay. Alrighty, so we're gonna get inside here. This is your power converter right here. We talked about the power inverter, right? The inversion is starting with 12 volt DC and inverting it to 110 AC or 120 AC. Well, this is conversion. So you have regular 120 AC circuit breakers here like you'd see at home, and they're all labeled, all right? Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side. So you got 12 volt DC fuses here, and they're all labeled. That's where the 12 volt comes from. It's also a battery tender, so it'll sense how much energy your batteries up on the tongue have and need. And as long as you're plugged into shore power, it'll send as many amps necessary to keep your batteries charged up. So when you're pulling down the road, your tow vehicle will charge your batteries. When you're plugged into shore power, this power converter charges your batteries. And of course the solar panel, which we'll talk about in a minute, that charges it as it can depending on the conditions outside. Okay. Also, while we're here, this is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green. There's also a test button here. So if it's not green, get it serviced. It's obviously very important. So if you don't see it glowing green, push the test button. If nothing happens, go get it serviced. It's obviously important. Okay. Your refrigerator opens both ways. So you can open it this way or this way, right? It's got a pull-out drawer, which is nice for your freezer. Very nice. Your power awning, this is the switch for it right here. Never leave this out unattended. If you're not going to be at the campsite, then definitely roll it in, okay? You never want to leave it out because it'll get damaged by the weather for sure. Your 2 slide rooms here, right? Then you have your water heater for gas right here. Turn it on gas right there. You turn on an electric heating element right there. Your water pump we talked about is right here. Remember, the water pump's used to pump fresh water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. It's also used to winterize the trailer. And you have tank heaters, which are heating pads on your holding tank. So you turn that on and you extend your camping season. You can stay out longer and go out earlier, so it extends your season. That connect is for an app, of course. Okay, and then you have your levels here. Now this is your solar controller. This you'll have to really see it because you can't see the buttons that well. But right here, there's two values here. One is 13.6 DC. That's the amount of DC in the trailer, in the system. Then the one below it is 4.6 amps right there. See, so that's telling us that we're gaining 4.6 amps from the sun and storing it in the battery. Okay, so that right there is the most important screen. Then the next one is going to tell you overall voltage from the solar panel. That's not that important. And the other one is Fahrenheit. It's right now we're at 70. The battery system's at 79 degrees. So that lets you know that is the one you'll look at the most. Like I said, is the double one here, 13.6 and 4.6, depending on whether you want to know how much voltage is in the system or how much you're gaining from the sun. Now if this starts flashing and it won't you can push the buttons and nothing happens, it's not telling you it's broke. It's telling you that there's no more room for storage in the batteries, so it shut the panel down. All you have to do is keep using it, and as soon as the level of energy drops in your battery, it'll come back to the normal screens you're looking at. So if that happens, just give it some time and it'll go right back to the screens you're used to, okay? All right, so this table drops down onto these cleats here, and you can turn it into a bed, of course. Your TV is also your sound, so your TV has FM radio. It also has Bluetooth. It has HDMI. It has 2 speaker zones inside the trailer. One is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer, or maybe it's A and B, one or the other. But you have inside and outside or both. So that's your sound also. This is on a bracket, so this swings out, it locks back into place when you're done using it. Make sure you latch it into place when you're traveling so it doesn't fling around and get damaged, all right? This is another pre-wire. This is sort of like the backup camera in the sense it's pre-wired. This is for the main function. It says 5G on it, but the function people would use the most is a public Wi-Fi booster. So if you're interested, you can scan this code and learn more about it. If you were to get the package, this is separate from us, although we could install it, but you could pursue it on your own if you're interested. You get an antenna that goes on the roof, a Wi-Fi antenna, and then the router box would fit right here, right? And you just get better, it's a booster, so you get better public Wi-Fi for your family. It's just, everybody needs better Wi-Fi, so the 5G part would have a monthly fee and all that, but you can get just the public Wi-Fi function, I believe. So that's just a potential upgrade if you're interested. Okay, now these are your keys hanging here, of course. Your cooktop here. Remember I showed you the vent on the outside for the range hood? I said that if you're using the range and you want to vent, you just turn on the fan and then you can vent to the outside. If you're not, you can just leave that latch shut. It's up to you. Okay? So when it comes to the 3 burners, we have 1, 2, and 3, and then the 4th one is the oven. So all you do is go to high and then depress it. It'll light, you hold it in for a few seconds. If it goes out, you do it again until the thermocouple heats up a little bit. And there you have it. So it's that simple. The oven's the same way, except that there's a pilot light at the bottom all the way at the back, and you're gonna spark it to the flame. You go to the picture of the flame, then you depress it and hold it. Once it lights, you still hold it. Once it lights, you hold it until the thermocouple heats up for another 10 seconds or so, then you're going to go to operating temperature. When you're ready to shut it off, you shut it off, obviously the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the range, okay? You have a light here, and then an oven light in there. Okay? Always travel with this in the down position. This microwave works like any other microwave, by the way, if I didn't say that. Behind here, this is not storage. This is how you access the back of your water heater. Right now the valves are in camping position, so you're all set for the summer. When you winterize the trailer, you're going to have to change the valves to to winter mode, and you would just unscrew this screw, take this panel out, and you can see the valves. Okay? Alrighty. See what else we have here. Let's look around a bit. I didn't prep this, so I'm not 100% sure of what we've got here, so I better look. Okay. Okay. So you have your seating here. So these are recliners, obviously, and you've got a charger here. Storage. It's pretty self-explanatory, I guess. Yes. Okay. Your thermostat is a new style. So basically, what you do, it's not. I don't know if you can see it, but it says cool right now because it's running. But you're basically just going to select mode. Then you rotate the knob: heat, dry, cool, off, cool. Select cool, auto, high. Select that, and your temperature is already good. So it's very simple to use. Anytime it gives you the option of auto for the fan, the air conditioner will give you an auto option. Always take auto. That's the best way to run it. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. The toilet works like any other RV toilet in that it sits right over a black tank. You have a flush pedal here. So when you get to the campground, you hook your power your water up, and then you're going to put a dose of chemical right in the bowl. Then you'll hold the foot pedal down long enough to put at least a gallon of water into the tank below along with the chemical. So you have to have at least a gallon of water. You can use more than a gallon, just don't use less. Never run it without water and chemical. If you do that, it'll get clogged up for sure. It'll smell terrible. It'll just be a mess. So always a dose of chemical and at least a gallon of water. All right? Always travel. This is very important. Always travel with these latched in the open position, just like it is. If you don't, they're going to slam back and forth, and eventually they'll break. It could take years, or it could take a week. You don't know, but eventually something will get damaged. But if you put them in this position and latch it, they'll be fine forever. So make sure you do that. This is an eco device here. This is called a shower miser. This is a water recirculator for when you're getting ready to shower and you want to heat up your hot water. It saves energy and water. So if you look at the different pictures off, there's the shower and there's circulation. So when you get ready to take a shower, you're going to put it in this mode. Then you're going to turn it on, right? No water will come out the head. It'll just circulate around in a loop. It'll go from here to the water pump to the water heater to here, around and around in a loop. As it heats up, this will change color to a beigeish color. You'll see it plain as day. Once it changes to that beigeish color, you know the water's heated up. And you just go to shower mode at that point, and it works like a regular shower. The idea is, in areas of drought, you're not wasting perfectly good water, and also you're not wasting storage in your gray tank, right, with perfectly good water. So you're saving storage space, and you're not wasting water. So that's called the shower miser. Any of these have more information in the booklet. You can also go to manufacturers' websites and look at their product videos too if you want to learn even more, okay? Now you have a really good fan here. It's 4-speed. It also has a cover over it, so you can open it during the rain or whatever. You can leave it cracked when it's in storage, so it's really good. The 2 lower speeds you can barely hear. The 2 high ones really crank, so it's a good thing. This is a GFCI. All the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI. Even if it's a regular plug, like these here for example, it's still wired through this GFCI, so every plug, including the one on the outside, is protected by this. Also, now, if you can see, I'll just show you real quick. It says inverter circuit, right? So that means that the circuit's inverted. If I want to run a 110 or 120 AC appliance off of the battery, a 12-volt DC battery, I can do that. So I'm going to. It's on right now. This is the inverter switch. It's on right now. You don't run it unless you're going to invert power. I just had it on because we're testing it. So you hold it for a few seconds to shut it off, and off it'll go. So right now the inverter's off. So let's say we're out boondocking somewhere. We don't have any AC power, but I've got to run a blender or a coffee pot. That's all I have is an AC coffee pot. What I'll do is I'll turn this on. Just hold it for a few seconds. See, it's turning on, starting to invert, and give it a second here, and there you go. So right now there's 100 and if you were to unplug the trailer, there would be 120 volts AC at these inverted circuits. Now you can only invert for so long because you only have so much energy stored in your batteries, right? So it's not a long-term thing or for major appliances, for smaller appliances. So that's the inverter. Like I said, you can shut it off. Don't leave it running if you're not inverting. You just basically turn it on when you need it, okay? All right. So there's storage underneath here and some storage there. Let me see what else we have here. This is a water filter inline. These are just toilet paper hookups and that sort of thing. This is for your TV bracket. It's the other half of it. So if you wanted to hang a TV out there, you can do that. I'm going to look at open some of these compartments to see what's what here, just so I know. Like I said, I didn't do the prepping, so I'm just making sure. Okay. Okay, the storage under there. Okay. So that about covers it. I'm looking as I go here. I think we've covered just about everything. Let me just look around a bit more. Here's some more, the rest of the stuff I was looking for. This is for the outside TV. This is just a coax, right? You saw him pick up the 2 remotes, or 1 remote, I believe. There's just 1 remote there?
2 remotes.
What's the other one for?
That's a good question. Something's leaking or overflowing?
I think they just...
Yeah, turn off the water.
We'll just... we'll see which one works with the TV. Give that to them. That was a mistake, obviously, when whoever did that. But you'll get the correct remote with it. These are crayons you use to touch up any nail pops or anything like that. Just for this is your tire monitor system. You have to program this. Basically, on each one of your wheels, you have a monitor. The monitor is stuck on the wheel itself, inside the tire, directly across from the valve stem. So to program this, you'll put it close to that area to pick up the signal from it. and you can just read the directions, and basically what it does, it'll you can set it to tell you the temperature of the hub and alert you if it gets too hot, for example, so you know if your hub is overheating. It'll also tell you your tire pressure, and you can have it. You can set it to if it drops below a certain amount of pressure, it'll signal you whatever. So that's the tire monitor. The spare does not have a monitor in it or a sensor in it. Just the 4 tire or the 4 wheels. Okay. Alrighty.
Just open it up and put it on.
This is your booklet with all your information.
Oh, take the white thing out.
So I think that covers it then.
Alright, I'll put that back.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Remember, I told you it's pre-wired for a backup camera. It's also pre-wired for a Wi-Fi booster if you're interested. Okay. Never run the water heater without water in it. Right now, this is in camping mode, so there's antifreeze has been purged from the system. It's been replaced with fresh water, so it's good for the summer. And like they say, every 90 days you want to inspect that roof. Make sure it's in good shape, that there's no cracking or separation, no damage to it by low branches or anything like that. Just always take a look at it. Therefore, you can always stay ahead of any potential problems. Okay? Thank you very much.